Hi guys, we're back in the yard after a couple of weeks away in Greece. Went to Rhodes, Lindos for a friend's wedding. A couple of weeks away, laying on the sunbed, put on far too much weight, but now we're back in the yard. And you know I like MGs and British cars and stuff, despite having in the corner over there a Golf Cabriolet, which came by my way by default. Wasn't looking for it, but anyway, we'll get onto that another time. You've probably seen a few videos on that. So in the yard, we have a friend's car. I'm looking after it for him at the moment. Oh, there's a bit of a glimmer there. It's the MGTF, but it's the Spark. And for me, I've said it for the past 10 years. You got the 160, the trophies and stuff, but this is the best one they ever made, in my opinion. I'm going to walk around it and talk about it and tell you a bit more about this one and why I think it's the best TF that was ever made. Here we go. I think it's a 2-owner at the most. My friend bought it off of an elderly couple that travelled all around Europe in it. Well known on through the MG Car Club, not the MG Owners Club, the MG Car Club. This car has travelled. And it wasn't ever pushed. It was just like cruised around. You know, some of us younger might floor it a little bit. But this car was always looked after, as you can see, and my friend's taking it like what I always do, take it to the next level. It's the little details. So let's just have a look at the history of the car. Check this out. Look at all the runs this car's been on. See, you don't need to spend tens of thousands of pounds on sports cars to have fun. So obviously, if you've never seen any of my videos before, some of you go, oh, head gasket, forget it, don't worry about it. So, get a multi-layer head gasket, they've all been sorted now. This is an upgrade. That strut there, that's a bonus, makes it easier. So you've got, obviously you haven't got much in here, have you? You can put, if you travel abroad and you're doing a road trip in Europe, you can put your wine bottles down there. Okay, it's got a full-size spare. ABS on the Spark. It's the best model they ever made, the TF Spark, in my opinion. Not supplied by Church Square Autos, but it's been sold through them once in the past. Based in Shepperton, in well, Shepperton, Middlesex, but really Surrey, it's just the other side of the river. And it says Sonic Blue. My friend got the wheels refurbished because there's nothing more annoying, is there, when you've got a sports car and the wheels have been curbed. We've got some mud flaps on the way, so they're coming soon. It's almost complete, this one. It's got the right stainless steel little grommets in there. Let's go inside. You've got the Alcantara, you've got all the floor mats. Yeah, again, the silver one that you'll see on my video, it's the same sort of standard really. In there was like what would have been an air, in this day and age would have been an airbag in there. So you pull the panel out and you can insert this little phone case and stuff in there now. So it just uses up a dead space really. You know what, there's nothing wrong with a basic car, is there? You don't need all the toys anymore. You know, you go into menus and stuff. It's nice just to get in a car, see that badge, put your clog down, see that rev counter go up, and just go for a nice drive. And drop the roof down, obviously. This is easy to drop down this roof. It's no problem at all. We'll do that in a minute. Oh, there you go. It's me groaning, not the car. So, with the TF, you get the braces in there as well. Just tighten up the back end. Obviously the hydrogas is long gone now. We're into coils and springs and dampers now and everything. This has had an upgrade on the exhaust, which is more than acceptable on these cars. Just gives it a little bit more fruitiness and a bit more poke. But what we have here is a salt and pepper hood. Okay, so it's grey, they call it salt and pepper. It's still on the plastic rear window here, which when it's cold you have to be very careful how you fold that, otherwise it cracks. And you can get the upgrade of the glass, but you won't get this roof very easily. They're always black, blue, burgundy or whatever. You'll be pushed to get a roof that colour. And this one's in impeccable condition. Just have a look at that. Look at the wheels, look at the brakes, huge. These are the big spoke wheels to hop over that huge caliper there. You can have a lot of fun in this for not a lot of money really. Anyway, what we're going to do now is drop the roof. So just before we do the right thing and drop that roof, if ever you are looking at these, anyone who knows this will go, yeah, I know what he's going to say next. In here, there's a weird arrangement. That lever there, you pull it, and that's to open the bonnet, where your spare wheel is, and your master cylinder, your brake master cylinder, your battery, and everything's there. So do not get distracted at any car shows. You go, oh, this is lovely, and put your keys in there and close the boot. There's a reason for that. I did say this in my previous video. You close that boot down and you're not getting in. You're getting in through there, pulling all that out, smashing all that out to get in there. So that should have been a popper. Some people have retrofitted a thing. They just make a little switch and it pops it, which is pretty fairly easy to do these days. But this is the best example I've ever seen, really, for a long, long time. Anyway, let's get that roof down. So it's roof down time. So we've got a clip here. Yep. Clip here. Yep, we're off, we're up, we're going up. There you go, got that. There's a bar, see the second bar here, if ever you force it, don't force it. There's a bar there, there you go. That one there, that second bar, just push it, and away you go, goes down. Okay, it's very warm today, so I got confidence in just folding that plastic roof. Close them up. Close that up. We've got the wind scarf there, wind sock, whatever you want to call it, wind brake. That does definitely help. I wouldn't go, if ever you buy one, I wouldn't go for the solid Perspex one. It doesn't really work because all that does, the solid Perspex one goes like that all the time and puts pressure on. The other is for the wind to pass through. I think that works better. I've owned a lot of these cars. I think that's the best option. There you go. Let's just close this door up, give it the full effect. So just to summarise on the MGTF, the Spark in Sonic Blue. If you're thinking of getting a sports car for next year, or even looking for sort of a winter project really, find one that's not got too much bodywork damage, because that will eat into your budget like you won't believe, like any old car. The value in these isn't worth spending 5-6 grand on bodywork, it really isn't. And if you go to the wrong place at the moment, you'll be waiting out days and months to get it done, because there's a backlog on restoration on cars at the moment. Unless you've got someone who's a really good friend and a contact, find one with good bodywork, reasonable service history, 4 grand, 5 grand, 3.5 maybe, you'll get a good one. If you see one with black door handles, that's normally a 1.6. Okay, I would avoid that really. It's still good fun and all that, but you want the 1.8. The early TFs, or most TFs I should say, have quite a harsh suspension, so you'll get the sports ride. But if you take the misses out, I'm not being sexist, but if you take the misses out, you go, God, this is a hard ride. In the Spark, it's different. It's a softer ride. It's not like the MGF, which has got hydrogas suspension. There's a lot of things in it. There's a bit of parts spin going on here, as you well know. There's Rover 100 subframes in there. The hydrogas suspension in the MGF. There's lots of switchgear from the Rover 200s, 400s. It's all in there, but everyone does that, so that's no secret, is it? But you look at that. 4 grand, 4.5 grand, that's a bargain car. And people do slate, and we all get critical of cars, don't we? But that is a British car bargain. And if you're looking for a winter bargain, have a look on Car and Classic, obviously Fleabay, but have a look around on the MGF register as well. You might see someone who's like thinking, oh, I want to move it on now, I'm getting on a bit or whatever. Difficult times for everyone as well. So you might get a bargain, but this one is my favourite of all. So have a look for a Spark and see what you get on. You'll see loads of silver 135s on there. MGF, you're into hydrogas suspension, as I mentioned earlier. Different ball game. You got to keep them pumped up, make sure the spheres aren't damaged. You can go to Ian and Dawn Kennedy for that, but they switched over to proper springs and dampers, as I said earlier on the TF. That's the one I'd probably go for myself. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Back after 2 weeks. Been a bit of a scrambled video, to be honest. It's currently landed in the yard yesterday afternoon, and I have a passion for MG, I do. I'm tempted by this one, but we'll see what happens in life and see what happens. But I do want another one, and I'm just looking after it for a friend at the moment. But look at it, just look at it, it's lovely. So this will be a scrappy section of the video. Closing the roof, you're in a traffic jam and it starts chucking it down, and everyone goes, look at that so-and-so sitting there with his roof down. Obviously we don't have electric roof, but I'm going to try and do this with the camera on. We'll reach over, window down obviously, grab that roof like that. Okay, here it comes, like that. Drop it down. Traffic lights are still red, by the way, at this point. Like that. Bang, down, clip, clip, green light, and we're off. It's that quick. Another thing to remember with sports cars, they're always compromised. You know, they're not a family car. They're not, you know, cars are getting bigger and bigger, as we all know. These are little sports cars. They sort of resemble in footprint of the MGB, give or take, you know. But if you're over 6 foot, 6'2", 6'3", don't get one of these. You'll be disappointed. You'll be right back. The engine's right behind the seat there. It's mid-engine car. You'll be right back there. It's, if you're 6 foot and under, I'm 5'9", and this car fits me like a treat. It's perfect. Otherwise, you'll be right the way back, and you'll find yourself a bit compromised. You're probably into Porsche Boxster territory then, or something else, you know, or something with a longer footwell. But yeah, just bear it in mind. If you're a tall guy, your head will be over the windscreen there, trust me. So just bear that in mind. So if you strike up a bit of an interest in MGFs and TFs, you'll start to go, what are the differences? They look pretty much the same. The headlights, the grille are a big change straight away. And also we have this little flip down here. Just push the weight down, because there's not a lot of weight in the front of this car. The weight's in the mid and the back. And it was probably a bit sketchy on the front, so they put that little chin on there, which the MGF didn't. The MGF is a lot more rounder and stuff. As we walk around the back, we've got a little flip here as well at the back. Just these little details. I don't think they actually tested the MGF in a wind tunnel. You have to have the right tyres as well. You know, if you don't have the right tyres, they can get a little bit wobbly, you know, at the front and stuff. So these little details on the TF, that's why I just think this is the perfect model. They got it just right on this one. Just little details. The intakes there are slightly different. You know, it's just a bit more, for want of a better phrase, a bit more butch, and it's a more polished example, in my opinion, of the two. Anyway, that's just my opinion. You know, say what you want about it, but click subscribe and like, and I look forward to any comments you have to make on it. Oh.